gardens. You know, people sometimes think that if they have smallish suburban lots, garden lots around their houses, they cannot create corners with woodland feel to it. That woodland nature belongs only into the woods. I question that. And I'm trying to create on one side of my house, its eastern side, quite a narrow passage from the back to the front. I want to create the feeling of stepping into a shady woodland area with the help of shady loving annuals, perennials and hostas and evergreens here. So today I am hanging out with you in this little corner of my garden where I am planting two new plants, introducing them for their beautiful scented blooms and interesting foliage. You know, when we have a narrow space or any space to go from point A to point B and there is nothing in between, that space feels so much shorter with no interest. We don't pay any attention to what's happening on the ground and we just get to B point. But when there is a lot of interest on the way, the passage is winding, you have to see where you're stepping, not to step on my beautiful hostas here, kids beware. And then you're looking around and this little way from the back of my house to the front is so much longer. And when we have this visual, sensual experience, watching plants, looking the changes in them, picking up a light scent under the canopy of the tree, every time that experience is so much better, even if it's just a small little space in the garden. So this area is being extensively developed by us for several years already. And just imagine, this was totally empty grass area when we moved in. There was just this tree, a crab apple tree. And when we moved in the middle, holly growing. And we always had to go around this holly because it was becoming bigger and bigger. It didn't want to be sheared, trimmed. It was looking bare and leggy. So I said, okay, that's it. We are taking this miserable shrub out and I am creating a woodland area here. So first what went in, peonies went in here. And I was thinking that they're not going to bloom here because we don't have a lot of sun. But looks like because of the spring sun getting through the loose canopy of our tree, they get enough sun to bloom here and to flourish. And they're here for several years already. Then under our window, I planted two boxwoods and they supposed to be reaching up to 3 feet tall. So all this area under my window would be occupied by these two boxwoods. Eventually, you know, gardeners needs patience. Then we have hostas, which are loving it here under our air conditioner because the air conditioner keeps dripping water through the summer, and our hostas loves that humid environment. On another side, here under the tree, we occupied it with very sturdy, very pushy ground cover ivy, and I have to really control it, really keep it in the check. But what I like about ivy is it is so dependable, so shade tolerant, and you don't need to do anything with it. It just lives and spreads. Here you see this hosta. It was eaten, I suspect, hungry rabbits, and look at all the leaves. I never thought that hostas would be attacked by rabbits, but I guess they were really hungry here. And on this side, this is really the area between us and our neighbors. We have a wooden fence here, and I'm really desperately trying to create a yew hedge here, trying to raise it up as fast as I can. And of course, yews are not fast growing, so I am staying on top of trimming, making sure that divisions in stems are happening quickly. So hopefully in several years here we will have a hedge kind of masking this big white wall of our neighbor's house here. So at the back, the entrance into this woodland area is framed by two evergreens. On one side we have this beautiful big yew, which is old, and it kind of wants to become bigger and bigger, so I have to control the size of him. And on another side, I moved arborvitaes there. There are 3 arborvitaes. They're doing very well. I moved, the first one I moved a year before, and you can see in height how they're responding to a good amount of sun there. So that area is framed. The entrance is into the woodland area. And here we have a fence also, which signalizes that there is an entrance into another area between 2 evergreens, also between my boxwood and dependable azalea. So what I did, trying to make this path a little bit winding and asking people to slow down, you know, I collected all sorts of stones wherever I could, and I just placed them here. And you know what, if you're thinking to do something like this, unofficial, don't be afraid to put stones on the soil. If stones are big, they're not going to move. They're going to be there for many years where you place them, and you don't need to do any cement foundations. So that's kind of convenient if you want to do this very unofficial winding path, even if it's just for several meters, you know. So on this side, I'm trying to hide our water barrel, and here's a hose there, so our yews are kind of growing over it, which is fine with me. And here, the struggling one, because there's so much foliage around her, is my rose. This is Adelaide Orleans rose, and it's a rambling rose. And she is fighting for her space here because there is so much competition from bleeding hearts. Oh, look at my white bleeding hearts. I replanted them here 2 years ago, and they kind of fell here. We were moving the water barrel here, so maybe we kind of damaged them. So my Adelaide Orleans would be growing here. This is the wall, hopefully, and I am the one to build some sort of a trellis. And I know the rambling rose can eat the house if you let them do that. So eventually I will put some sort of poles here, and my Adelaide Orleans would be rambling around, hopefully. And there is enough of sun on this wall to satisfy this rose. You know what, it was not, I really didn't intend to plant 2 white bleeding hearts on both sides here. I kind of wanted them to spill over through this passage. But it just happened. I chose the right bleeding hearts. As you know, bleeding hearts comes in 2 different colors, white and pink. I believe that's it. And I was replanting them when they were still in dormant stage. And yes, I chose right varieties. If it would be 2 pink ones, would be the same, but I like the white ones, especially in this woodland area. Here we have bugleweed. I planted him last year in the fall, and you know, some people consider it highly invasive, and because it spreads, and I can see how it is just starting to conquer and go. But you know what, this area is kind of tamed by the fence on one side and the entrance areas on others, so I will keep this guy in check. But I can see how he is running. But look at these beautiful woodland flowers. Quiet, you know? And you know what? The feeling of coming into the woodland area is different than bright and flamboyant perennial flower beds. The feeling is of quietness, gentle colors, white blooms. And by the way, I put this foam flower here because I'm ready to plant these 2 plants out, and the carpenter bee was flying by, and you should have seen it. She just went like this, and then and she noticed the flowers, checked them out, and flew away. Almost like, oh, this is something new here. This is my passage through the day, and I never thought that this flower is here. So it was kind of cute. So what do I have here? I have foam flower, which is really a beautiful woodland plant to introduce because it has a lot of interesting foliage. And this foliage keeps this plant, gives this plant interest through 4 seasons. In spring, it's beautiful, bright cherry green with very interesting veining. And then it goes blooming through all the summer. We have to deadhead it. And you know what? I think I saved it from Home Depot because it was quite miserable looking there. And I said to myself, okay, let me bring you to the house, water you well, plant you in my woodland area, and you're going to be thriving here. And it's an excellent container plant. I believe foam flower is good to zone 3 or 4. So for my zone 6, 7, I can plant it in the pot and leave it outside through the winter in that pot, and foam flower will come back year after year. And if I fertilize her, she, of course I call plants he, she looks like she would be flourishing in nice shady, dappled shade, or even shady conditions in my back area where we eat, because during the day that area is somewhat shady during the morning, then it gets sun during the day, and then again shade in the afternoon. So I think foam flower, for now I'm planting it here, and then in a year or 2 I will be dividing her. Now here we have Jacob's Ladder, Polemonium, and the variety is Heaven Scent. It has a very light scent, but it does have it. And you know what? It's slightly stressed out from all that sitting on the shelf in the garden center, and the leaves are a little bit burnt maybe, because Jacob's Ladder love woodland conditions as well. It is spring blooming, good to zone 3, also can be good in containers. It does love well-drained soil and this rich woodland area where it can flourish. So I am planting them out here today and introducing some interest to this woodland area of mine. This poor guy is well watered. Oh my gosh, look at these roots. He was looking dehydrated. You know what? I would love to put my foam flower right here. But I'm not sure if I can because of all the roots of this tree. I mean, I can try to see if I can have a pocket here. Let's see. No, there are big roots here. Okay, not here. Sorry guys for disturbance. I'm going to plant her right here, very close to the stones, for her kind of to spill over and frame this area here. Let that cool water soak in nicely and give a nice refreshment feeling to this poor suffering thing. All right, little lady, you will pick up your leaves. You will be quite happy here. This woodland area is getting better and better. Now I have 2 more plants to look at when I walk by. And eventually, when everything kind of matures here, it would be wonderful. It's already wonderful thanks to all these happy hostas and boxwoods and peonies, and next year my rose. So the adventures in the garden continues. Thank you for watching and happy gardening.